Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. In today, I'm gonna be talking about David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me book review. This is gonna be more of a post-finishing review. I literally read it for the past 6 months because I read it for a couple months, then I sort of stopped, and I read it again. And I just finished it a few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago. I think it's one of the best books I read, top 10, hands down, and here's why. One, I read the beginning of it before my mother's death, which was a very hard period, and it gave me, I don't remember exactly what I did that day, but I'm pretty sure like I took a cold shower or some shit, some bullshit like that, and it just made me, I'm pretty sure it helped me because I remember that I thought about it when going to the hospital before her death. Not like before her death, but like in the period before the death. One of the days we went to the hospital, and I was like, well, that book kind of helped me these days because he talks about doing hard shit, and he did the cold shower, it's pretty hard, and now this is hard, so I'm used to hard shit, it's hard and hard and hard and fucking hard. Just like a lot of hard shit, and yes. And that is pretty good. That is pretty cool. I would say I just read it a few days then, not a lot, so I wouldn't say like it's the thing that drove me to survive my mother's death. But I would say lately, I went back to it again and I started reading Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Obviously, one of the reasons I've seen him running the Moab 240 or 250, I don't know. But he just was running the Moab. I'm like, okay, shit. That sounds like kind of cool. And I'm working on my marathon running and shit like that. I was like, you know what? Let me finish his book. So I finished his book, and I would say because of his book, as the primary reason, I'd say after God, yeah, but the primary reason is that book of me running a full fucking marathon with no experience. I literally ran 10 kilometers a few months ago. I walked about 20 kilometers about 3 times this year, and while reading the book, I ran 26 kilometers for the first time in my life, until my knee fucking got destroyed. 2 weeks later, I ran a 39 kilometer. I'll say a 40 because I stopped calculating and then I continued walking. So about 40, so it's a full marathon for the first time in my fucking life, again, until my knee got shattered. And I would say one of the things is David fucking Goggins. He's just built different. And it's not his build different, but he makes his mentality in a way that just loves hard shit. Like, I like it. And I would say, I have that mentality as well. As an example, about a few days ago, last week, yeah, I wouldn't say sick, but I was tired. I had a long day, 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. Going to college, internship, you name it. I got workouts, back training, pull leg is pretty tiring. Came back home, ate some bullshit, and I went to sleep. So I have 2 blankets. It was very cold. My room, I didn't put even the carpet in. It was like bullshit, right? And I said, you know what? I have some laundry to fucking dry. I gotta put it in the rooftop. I'm not a pussy. I gotta do that shit before I sleep. I did it. It's pretty hard because it's cold. I said, you know what? It's cold. You know what's harder than being in the cold? Being naked in the fucking cold. I took off my clothes in the fucking rooftop. I dried my clothes, put them on there. I said, you know what? This is cold. But I'm a fucking man. You know what's harder than being naked in the cold? Taking a fucking cold shower. Went downstairs, took a fucking cold shower, came back, filmed a couple videos, naked, blah, 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 you name it. Then I slept. A few hours later, 5 a.m., I was puking. I was vomiting. You name it. The pain in the fucking stomach, it was brutal. I hated it. But it is what it is. I'm just built different. And it's one of those moments that you just go for hard shit. And I had that even last year, yeah. I did a lot of shit. I'm not gonna just do in a monologue, but a lot of shit that are hard. And I would say David Goggins is very good at keeping you in that mindset. Just like, okay, it's hard, but that's why I'm gonna fucking do it. That's why I'm gonna fucking do it. Because it's fucking hard to fucking build different. And it's pretty harsh, right? It's pretty fucking harsh. And one of the best quotes, in my opinion, yeah, he talks about his past. And he's like, well, I was going to train, but I didn't train. And yeah, basically like I was a pussy, and yeah, it's my vagina was hurting probably. And I think that was interesting. It's one of the best quotes I read. So harsh, so brutal. You know how hard it is to say it to a man. Obviously, he was saying to himself. But I use that same thing. I say that a lot of the times. Right? I don't say a lot to me, as I usually fucking do the hard shit. But I'm like, that guy's like, okay, yeah. Yeah. You're basically a pussy. But anyway. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is training. And I would say like you understand how training is more of just like you gotta push. But more of that is he teaches you in the book the differences between the types of training. And that was interesting. Because I do body weights, so body lifting, bodybuilding, and I lift weight, blah blah blah, who cares, bullshit, yeah? But when you read the book, you realize he does push-ups, pull-ups, he does the fucking bodybuilding, and he runs. And when he talks about his hardships, going through every one of them, yeah, you just realize how, yeah, I'm not answering the phone. Anyway, you just realize how the differences between the different training sessions. There's this training that requires 1, 2, 3, and this other training that requires 1, 2, 3. So bodybuilding or weightlifting is a bit different than running. Running is more of a fucking mental game that you're with yourself and you run until your knee explodes. Bodylifting is more dynamic. It's more dynamic. It's like you feel hard and sore, but you gotta train anyway, and you want to push the weights, and it's dynamic because obviously you gotta rest and bullshit. It's just a lot of shit, yeah. And also obviously when running, there is certain things like the food you gotta eat in running is not obviously in body weights or bodybuilding. You don't eat while training. Unlike the marathons, obviously you're running for like 7 hours. I ran for 7 hours. I can't run 7 hours without food. You need food to fucking continue. So there's different foods that you eat. There's different food that you eat before running, throughout the run, after the run. I don't do the after the run, but stuff like that. And also you learn about recovery, some bullshit like that. Okay. I'd say one of the other things that I learned from Can't Hurt Me, the book by David Goggins, is you really can get fucked up in different ways. Now, I'm not talking about the fucked up, like the drunk fucked up or the drug fucked up. I'm talking about body fucked, like physically fucked up. You can get fucked up in many ways. And you can break your ankle, break your knee, break your fucking articulations, your bones, some bullshit. You can bleed. All these are true. Your skin can get torn. All these are true. So any one of this are hard. And dealing with each one of them is a bit different. Maybe just slightly different, but it's different. So if my knee hurts, I gotta anticipate. More than anticipation, talking about anticipation, there's one term in the book, it's called backstops. So backstops, he explains it as when they are in the Navy SEALs and they make a map. So I'm going from point A to point B, and obviously it's a road, blah blah blah. Now, I need to take a certain road. Let's say I miss that turn. When I'm planning, I plan not only for the sign that will tell me when to turn, but also the signs after it that I know that I fucked up and I gotta go back and fix my road. So I basically remember the point when I turn and 2 points after it, that if I see them, I know I fucked up and gotta go back. And he talks about it in life. Sometimes you need that. You just gotta think about it and let it sink in. Also, while doing that, you might as well subscribe.